I ain't gonna lie, Lil Durk might be cooked, but he might not. He got, in my opinion, the greatest lawyer of all
OTF Jam.
time, and that is Brian Steele. But his own shooters are testifying against him, trying to send him to jail for the rest of his life.
Just guarantee Lil Durk is never coming home. OTF Jam just guaranteed Lil Durk is never coming home.
All right, this is an exaggeration, but okay.
After what he did on this,
bro, I've been following the case, bro. I've been watching academics every day.
Stand today, man, and that's just my.
And I ain't gonna lie, it's 50-50. It's 50-50.
We truly understand what we're witnessing. Oh, this man is the greatest rat in hip hop history. We've never seen a colder rat. OTF Jam so cold. Brian Steele, who we consider, if you ask any hip hop fan who the best lawyer in the world, they'll say Brian Steele.
That's
Brian Steele, who we widely consider as the best attorney in the world, or more specifically in hip hop.
Greatest.
OTF Jam had Brian Steele flustered. Do y'all truly understand how impressive this is? For somebody as crooked.
Okay, here's the thing. OTF Jam was coached by the FBI before he got on the stand for like 30 days. So the reason why he is cooking is because the FBI was like, hey, he's probably gonna say this, he's probably gonna say that. And they was out there through it. Bro, this man, OTF Jam had summer camp, fall camp, winter camp, spring ball, you know what I'm saying? Like he had time to prepare for this trial. The United States government, the feds, they was not playing around. They said we want to put Durk away for the rest of his life. The rest of his life. Well, that was meeting with OTF Jam, like, yeah, you gonna say this, you gonna say that. If he say this, say that, bro. They probably gave him a script. He probably memorized it. But they had him in the film room watching Brian Steele old trials, talking about, yeah, he's gonna get when you understand, he's probably gonna throw this at you. You gonna answer like this. He gonna say that to you. You gonna answer like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, bro, he's prepared for this moment. But Brian Steele is the greatest lawyer of all time. So let's see how this gonna play out. I ain't gonna lie.
Slimy, nefarious, untrustworthy, sketchy, suspicious. As OTF Jam to take that stand and have Brian Steele flustered. So Brian Steele was cross-examining OTF Jam.
You know what I'm saying? It's like a basketball player. No. It's like when Cam Newton. Y'all know that one clip of Cam Newton when he's like, oh, you been watching film? I've been watching film too. Watch this. I gotta find that clip, bro.
So
I gotta find that clip, bro. Cam Newton, you've been watching film? Look, bro. This Brian Steele and freaking OTF Jam in the courtroom, bro. Hey, Brian Steele is like, it's the wheel route. It's the wheel route. Freaking Cam Newton is OTF Jam. Oh, you've been watching film. That's cool. Watch this. Oh my gosh.
Straight back, goes a crossing route, McCaffrey, touchdown.
Oh, you've been watching film, huh?
Now, based on what we saw from Brian Steele, we expected Brian Steele to easily cook OTF Jam, have him flustered.
I ain't gonna lie, OTF Jam is stupid, bro. He didn't even know what the word objectively mean.
Have him on his back foot, but apparently that was not the case. Brian Steele ain't get the slam dunks that we expected. So he ain't do it.
But no. Brian Steele, I think he's trying to set him up. This is his first day freaking cross-examining OTF Jam. So I think what he's doing is setting up for tomorrow or the next couple of days of trial. But he's been poking holes and exposing that OTF Jam has lied and his story is a little bit inconsistent with some of the stuff that he's been saying. So that is a great setup for proving reasonable doubt that Durk is responsible for any of this stuff. So we just gotta see.
Excellent job at completely discrediting OTF Jam in front of the jury. And that is going to backfire on Lil Durk. Trapler Ross reported insane back and forth between Brian Steele and OTF Jam. Brian had good moments cooking him. OTF Jam had moments he cooked Brian Steele back and had him flustered. insane. This is the worst possible option for Lil Durk. Because what you have here is you have OTF.
Like, Brian Steele gotta kill all of OTF Jam's credibility, or at that point it's a toss up.
Jam, who was one of the shooters.
Then they got another cooperator that's gonna testify too. So
OTF Vani,
he gotta get
those are gonna be
the
two
Jam out of
most
here.
damning testimonies and witnesses against Lil Durk. There's 30 witnesses, but those two specifically are the most damning. Brian Steele.
They got 30 witnesses. 30. Oh, Jesus.
And Lil Durk attorneys got one job during this trial. The feds don't got no physical evidence on Lil Durk.
Yeah, that's the one thing in Durk's favor. They don't got no physical evidence. They don't got text messages. They don't got anything. All they had was like OTF credit cards being used, but those credit cards, multiple people had like versions of the credit cards with their names on it. So it's a business card, but Durk probably had his own business card for the account. This other dude probably had his own business card for the same account, and then he had another you know what I'm saying? And all those other people are charged in the case too.
They got the words of OTF Jam and OTF.
It's just he say versus she say versus he say now, which is I think is a very beneficial thing for Durk's case.
They got one job, to discredit OTF Jam and OTF Ani. And if you don't discredit them, now the jury gotta hear what OTF Jam is saying and consider it. And do you really want the jury to consider this from OTF Jam?
I might have heard one of the damnest things in this whole trial today when OTF Jam was actually on the stand. He said that there was basically all these frantic phone calls made when they got Quando Rondo's location to a bunch of hitters in Chicago trying to get them on a job. It was Didi and Booney Mo. Apparently Booney Mo was specifically the person that called him and basically asked him about being involved. But he had Lil Durk on a FaceTime call on another phone on speaker. So Jam knew that Durk was there and that he was privy to this call. He overheard Booney Mo saying, "Blood, you there?" on the other line. And then basically, apparently, all right, he didn't have any info about what the hit was going to be. So Jam tried to call Lil Durk directly 2 times. Durk didn't answer. And then Booney called him back and said, "Hey, Durk doesn't want no one calling his phone that's coming out to LA. He didn't want no contact with anyone that's flying out to LA. So Jam said, like, he knew something crazy was going on, but he didn't actually know what the details were. He ends up getting flown out to LA, and this absolutely blew my mind. He ends up getting flown out to San Diego, driven to LA. They're in this, like, Sprinter bus, okay? They stop off at a Hooters in San Diego, and they basically get told on a FaceTime by Duty Low they got Quando Rondo's location, and the whole reason they've been flown out there is to kill him. They're going to trick him and say that somebody's going to come and deliver him some weed at his hotel, and they're going to kill him outside his hotel. But what was crazy is after that, okay, Didi got on FaceTime apparently with Lil Durk in the Sprinter bus, and apparently showed Lil Durk the hitters on FaceTime. Apparently, Didi turned his phone to show Durk all of the hitters and said, "Yeah, you see the Navy SEALs, all right?" And then Jam basically gave testimony. They said, like, what was your understanding of what he meant? He was saying Navy SEALs, they're guys that go on missions. They're guys that go and kill people. He said that he turned the phone so that Lil Durk could see OTF Jam, and Durk basically told Jam, "Yeah, go crazy." And Jam slammed the rakes. He threw GDK, and then basically, like, you know, threw up the GD sign. He let the court know what that was.
The circumstance that Lil Durk is currently dealing with is eerily similar to Aaron Hernandez's second murder trial for the double homicide. Aaron Hernandez, a rising NFL star, got found guilty of one murder of one of his homies, his close friends, who found out that Aaron Hernandez was a homosexual, so Aaron killed him to stop the secret from coming out. He was found guilty of that murder. But apparently he already killed 2 people before he killed his friend. Those murders was just a secret. The murder actually got discovered when they were investigating the murder of his friend, because they found a vehicle like at his home, like that he was hiding, that was actually connected to a double homicide. Now, this friend of his, Bradley, was with Aaron the night that he killed 2 people. They were at the club chilling. He got into an altercation with 2 dudes. The dudes left. They were driving home. Aaron Hernandez.
Bro, I knew Aaron Hernandez killed people, but I did not know it was because he was gay. But that is insane.
And shot through his car and ended up killing 2 people. However, the homicide went unsolved because nobody was really speaking. And the only person who witnessed it was this guy right here. So this guy came to trial to testify against Aaron Hernandez during his second murder trial. Now, here's the thing. The prosecutors and their entire prosecution of Aaron Hernandez was based on the credibility of this guy right here. Now, the reason why he was incentivized to testify against Aaron Hernandez was because a year later, after he killed 2 people in 2013, Aaron actually shot this dude in his face because Aaron felt paranoid that this guy was gonna like rat him out or dime on him, right? Because they had some type of altercation or argument at a nightclub, and Aaron just felt like their relationship was getting too volatile and this dude will ultimately snitch on him. So Aaron shot him and tried to kill him, but he survived. Now, he was in prison for something completely unrelated when Aaron went on trial for this homicide. So this dude came to trial and his job was to convince the jury that he's credible. Aaron Hernandez's attorneys did a brilliant job at discrediting this dude, making him sound bitter, making him sound like a liar, completely discrediting him. And even though Aaron Hernandez possibly killed those 2 people, he was found not guilty. He was already a convicted murderer, went on trial for killing 2 people, and got found not guilty because the eyewitness was not credible. So in this particular case, Brian Steele's job, Drew Finley, their job is to make sure that OTF Jam and OTF Vonnie don't come across as credible. So far, it's not working, bruh. All right? Jam sounds hella credible in court. From everybody who's listening, he sound hella credible.
So when OTF Jam took the stand, he made it very clear. He pointed at Durk, he pointed at Dee Dee, he pointed at Lindsay. He said they was all in on the murder and the conspiracy. They're mad. They're big mad. They're so mad.
Bro, I can't watch this, bro. Why is he there doing that? Like, why is he trying to heckle Trap Lord Ross, bro? Like, what is the point of that even?
Years old, okay?
Bro, this man Trap Lord Ross got a yam.
It's crazy.
Jesus Christ.
So far, OTF Jam just established, Lil Durk told us to do this. He's behind this. He's the mastermind.
But here's the thing also. Durk never had connection with them before or during the point of them going to commit this murder. Earlier, I don't know if y'all was paying attention, but if you were, in the video, they said that the only time they ever seen Durk was when Dee Dee FaceTimed him in the Sprinter van. And he said, he'd go to Navy SEALs. Before that, what's his name? Jam didn't know what he was in LA for. He couldn't reach Durk. He had no contact with Durk at all.
Don't let him fool you guys. He's the one.
So
who
he's
told him to do this.
I think Flacco's trying to paint it as like he's totally cooked. He's not totally cooked.
But here's the part that I think is the most damning, okay? Well, OTF Jam testified and he poked the hole in Lil Durk's defense. The greatest defense that Lil Durk...
He gonna say that he don't really know King Von and he don't have a relationship with King Von. So the only reason... And he don't know anybody else on the case. So the only person that he really know on the case is Durk. So the only person he would do it for is Durk.
I'm on trial for murder for hire, but y'all can't tell me what I paid them. How can I be on trial for murder for hire and you guys don't really have the compensation package? What's the murder package, man?
They don't have any like price point because Durk never set a price point in like the entire thing. But there is a music video that Jam did for his own song that he got paid $10,000, and they trying to make it seem like that's the way Durk was going to pay him out, so it wouldn't be traceable.
All right, like what they got? $100,000, $500,000, $1 million. What did they get? Well, OTF Jam will confess, yeah, he never paid us. He promised us. He kept on, promising, hey, yo, the money gonna hit, the money gonna hit, the money gonna hit. But the money never hit entirely. However, while promising us the big lump sum payment, he was still feeding us money and giving us opportunities because of this murder, which plays into what the prosecutor has been saying, which is Lil Durk gave him music opportunities. Lil Durk gave him certain opportunities based on their role in this murder. One of the opportunities OTF Jam said was Lil Durk put him in a music video and gave him $10,000.
But the messed up thing about it is it's his song and it's his music video for his song. But the thing is that hurts Durk again is that OTF Jam never rapped before the murder. He never did it. Like, it never made a song, never rapped, no nothing.
OTF Jam will state that he wouldn't have been in that music video if he hadn't had committed a murder. That, you know, that his role in that music video and the opportunity he got was directly correlated to him committing that murder on behalf of Lil Durk. So now they are establishing through Jam the murder for hire.
And we were brought back. He did say he said there was payment. It was afterwards, and he testified there was discussion about payment after the murder was committed. He also testified to being in a music video called Federal Freestyle, where he was paid $10,000 to be in that music video. And he had never been in a music video, never been on an album before. And the prosecution asked him, do you think you would have been able to be in that video if you weren't a part of this shooting? And he said no, and he even testified he didn't think he would have ever been around. He would have been alive, essentially. But back to the music video, it seemed to be implied that this music video may have been the payment, the way of paying him for the shooting. The alleged murder to hire is coming into play.
That's so demoralizing because in the beginning of this case, even in the opening statement, Lil Durk's attorneys was banging their hand on, if it's a murder for hire, then how much they got paid? That's what they were banging, how much they got paid. Because they thought, well, the prosecutors haven't listed a figure yet, so how can it be a murder for hire? Jam just demoralized that argument. Now, apparently Jam did give a figure. He said $500,000 to $1 million was the supposed, that's how much they were supposed to get paid. I could have told Jam and every shooter involved, y'all was getting finessed. If you thought Lil Durk was gonna pay out $1 million for Quando Rondo's cousin getting killed, y'all are out of your mind. That was never gonna happen. But, however, Lil Durk paid in other ways. Musical opportunities, money here and there. He just kept on delaying and kicking the can down the road for the $1 million apiece, and that never came, right? So now OTF Jam is here. But here's the mistake that I do believe OTF Jam made, and where I do believe he gave Lil Durk some action. See, OTF Jam started off his testimony amazing and great, which was, hey, I killed 3 people, I'm a murderer, I did this, I did this. He was honest and transparent. And as somebody, like, honestly, if you're listening to that, you believe him because he's being open and transparent. But then OTF Jam started to cap and lie. See,
like, no matter how much you got on him, you gotta streamline everything. You can't lie. You can't have any holes in your stories because the jury's already looking at you like a bad person. He started off his witness testimony, I guess, as talking about how he was groomed by the BDs, how he grew up shooting at people at 12. He joined the BDs at 9 years old. He shot a person in cold blood at 17. And like he's been a part of like all these murders and robberies and stuff. So the jury's already looking at him like a bad person already, right? Now you gotta just hammer on that fact that he's just like the scum of the earth. That he would lie to like get out of jail. You know what I'm saying? Do all this types of crazy stuff.
His job is to be as credible as possible.
Yeah.
Even if that makes yourself look crazy. See, OTF Jam began to cap and lie. We all knew Jam's motivation was the money.
Jam's motivation to telling on Durk is to get out of jail. He don't want to go back. He already did 12 years. Like half of his life was in jail already. He don't want to go back.
We knew Jam motivation was the money, and Jam is turning on Lil Durk because Jam don't want to go to jail for a long time.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all. Jam decided to deviate from that.
Yeah.
He decided he was going to try to lie to make himself look good. Now, all of a sudden, Jam...
And then, yeah, he tried to make it seem like he's telling now because he felt bad for Lil Pop, but he's killed people in cold blood that he didn't know before.
Career killer, the career murderer. He took the stand and says he's currently testifying against Lil Durk because he feels guilty about killing Lil Pop. He feels like Lil Pop was innocent. And I think the jury...
Nah, Brian still got to blow that off the hinges. You've killed people in cold blood before. You've robbed over 100 people that was innocent and it had nothing to do with you. You've done wrong by innocent people multiple times. Why now do you feel guilty and remorseful about this one murder? You've killed multiple people before. You've robbed hundreds of people before. And now you feel guilty? Or are you trying to throw him under the bus? Because you don't want to go to jail.
BS meter, they can smell BS. You are a convicted killer, bro. You are a serial murderer, bro. You qualify as a serial killer by definition. You aren't here testifying because you feel bad about Lil Pop dying. So because he chose to BS, he gave Brian Steele some wiggle room to make him look crazy and poke holes in his credibility. OTF Jam testified that he snitched because he wanted to get it off his chest because it was weighing on him. Said he felt Lil Pop was innocent and Durk was selfish to send him on the hit with people he didn't know. Specifically said Vonnie was a goofy and he was mad to be involved with him. A jury can spot out this is BS. A jury can spot out that a convicted killer isn't like all of a sudden guilty or
because Lil Durk's entire defense is that he had nothing to do with this, and the people that's testifying against him are only testifying against him because they was caught in the murder, and they don't want to go to jail for this long extended period of time. So that's why they're testifying against Durk.
Guilty over somebody losing their life. No, clearly you're doing this for money, and because you're telling this lie, it now takes away from your credibility. I think this was bad. Okay, this was terrible. Now, we learned that OTF Jam, by the way, he wrote a letter to the FBI the moment he got arrested saying he knows about murders and he's ready to tell. Bro, this man is, this is one of the greatest rats we've ever seen in hip hop history. This is,
bro, I think Brian Steele can defeat OTF Jam. The thing that will keep Lil Durk in jail for the rest of his life is OTF Vonnie. Whatever Vonnie get on that stand and say, I don't know, bro. That might be an open and shut case too. Brian Steele might be able to choke slam him too, but I don't know.
It's like a movie.
I don't
There's
know.
Be a movie written about this at some point. All right. So OTF Jam also says that the Lil Pop hit was Durk's being selfish. It was Durk's selfish BS. He will say, "I didn't know Von. I was mad at Durk for putting me in that situation." So again, him not knowing King Von also plays into Lil Durk sent me on his hit. This was clearly murder for hire because what other motivations would I have for going on this drill and sliding on Quando Rondo and Lil Pop? I didn't know King Von. Why would I want to avenge King Von's death? So that also plays into the murder for hire. Now, this is where Brian Steele and OTF Jam began going back and forth. Here is the cross-examination. Again, I don't think the cross-examination was hard enough, to be honest. So Brian Steele starts going hard at OTF Jam. He played a recording of OTF Jam being interviewed saying he was never told by Durk there was a bounty on Quando and Tim. Now he asks why he lied, and OTF Jam says there's more to it than that. Steele clapped back, there's always more to it with you. That's a good look for Brian Steele. I feel like Brian Steele won that back and forth. Brian Steele caught OTF Jam in multiple lies. He changed his testimony to say it was Didi who said go crazy when Durk put him on FaceTime with the hitters on a sprinter to LA. Similarly, now he claims that Lil Durk said nothing. He just slammed the rakes and nothing said. It would make no sense for like OTF Jam to be engaged in this back and forth with Lil Durk and saying nothing. Now, Brian Steele will also drop a bomb on OTF Jam. Brian Steele said, "How come you acted blindsided by Booney Mo calling you saying you're going to LA when you tried to call him twice before?" So OTF Jam is claiming that he didn't even know how to book a flight. He had no idea why they were going to LA. He had no idea they were going to LA. He just told it, "Hey, we're going to LA," and he hopped out and went, which I also think it's a strange lie for OTF Jam to tell, because obviously you went to LA because you knew what the mission was. But he's saying, I was completely oblivious. I found out when I got to LA, and by that time it was too late. When, come on.
What is this name? The Diddy docket? What?
I found out when I got to LA, and by that time it was too late. When, come on, bro. All right. So Brian Steele apparently shocked the court. He revealed that other random people had DM OTF Jam with Quando's address long before the LA trip. I don't think that was like the slammer that Brian Steele thought it was, because from my perspective, if other people is DMing OTF Jam Quana Ronald's address in the last couple of years leading up to them murdering Quana Ronald's cousin or the LA trip, then wouldn't OTF Jam not taking it upon himself to go ahead and slide for King Von or to follow up on those leads? Wouldn't that mean that he had no intentions on murdering Quana Rondo or his cousin or really engaged?
No, it does not. Why are random people DMing you about another man's address that your group is beefing with? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's suspicious. Why? Like, nobody's DMing me Poetic Flacco's address. like
Quana Rondo
and especially if like me and him was beefing.
The only reason he really did this was because he was getting paid. Because if he got Quana Rondo's drop in location and address in the past from random people and he never acted on it, then clearly there's a reason why he acted on it in LA. So I don't think that was like the slam that
yeah, but it's not that big of a bombshell.
It was. Now, wild moment when Brian Steele questioned
if it works for the jury, it works for the jury though.
Killing Pop. Jim said if he didn't do it, he would be killed. Brian Steele says, "Why is your life more than someone else's?" This was objected to. Then Brian Steele asked why OTF Jam ran to the car after the hit. Jim said, "Obviously, I wouldn't just stand there. No one would." Brian Steele said, "Most people wouldn't kill someone." Said, "This is what you do, Mr. Minister. You're different." Again, this is where I say your OTF Jam is like cold as ice, like the coldest rap we've ever seen. OTF Jam smiled after Brian Steele said that. He pointed at OTF Didi and said, "Oh, I'm different for sure." And Didi a minister too. Man, bruh. Again, I just don't think that Brian Steele did enough, man. It's not looking good for Durk, bruh. Y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think, man? All right, y'all think that Lil Durk stands a chance? Let me know, okay? If you're...
Hey, bro, it's not over for the crossing examination of OTF Jam. I think tomorrow might be the last day. So Brian Steele got to do. He gotta reach in that bag, bro. He's the greatest lawyer of all time. Hey, man.